What do you think about the buses in games?
Well, they're not really reliable. They're not efficient. Like, you get told a time and it doesn't come, and they're always delayed. Sometimes they don't even show up.
Yeah.
And it's just a bit of a struggle, to be honest, when you're trying to get to places, and especially like the older people as well, when they want to go and do food shopping, Glossop or something, and they're just stood waiting at the bus stop. So I just think it's a bit of a joke, to be honest.
Well, the fact that they're only once an hour, and if they're more than 5 or 10 minutes late, they just actually cancel it.
They're very unreliable because sometimes they don't even come round the estate. So you've got people waiting at a bus stop. It could be heavens open, raining, snowing, whatever, and they've got to go back home, and then that's their day ruined.
It's been delayed sometimes, hasn't turned up, and it really rocks people. Like.
So they've opened the new market hall, and you can't go on a Sunday. So it's open on a Sunday, but you can't go. So there's lots of things that go on in Glossop that you can't access.
There's no buses on Sunday.
So what do you do if you want to go out on the Sunday?
You can't. You got to walk.
Right, okay. Do you have people who can't get out on the Sunday?
Yes, all the old people. They're just stuck at home.
We get nothing on a Sunday. We get nothing on a bank holiday. We get nothing in the evenings. Our last bus into Glossop is at 6:15. The last one back is at 7:10.
I think the last service is about 6:30 at night. So anyone working or you're late coming back from somewhere, you're a bit stuck really. You feel trapped. I've been really stuck sometimes and been ill in the week, and I think I'd love to go out on Sunday.
Because I'm a support worker, so I'm speaking for the ladies I look after. We don't get a bus on a Sunday up here, and so they're having to fork out money to go even just to get a taxi to Glossop. Like, it's about £6, so there and back's £12.
We have a lot of hospital appointments, me and my children, and again there's no direct route to Tameside. We have to get off and walk up a big hill, which my boys can't always manage. And yeah, it's just been getting worse for a number of years now, where there's just not the services available that people need.
When I was pregnant with my youngest, I used to have to take the bus into Stepping Hill, and that was like I was arriving there hours early. And then having nothing to do or not arriving back home until hours after my appointment.
The 394, which is not a B-network bus, goes straight to Stepping Hill. But what is actually classed as our local hospital is 3 buses. You've got to either go into Glossop to get a bus to Ashton and then a bus out again, or get the 341 into Hyde to get a bus to Ashton to go up to the hospital. And that takes 2 hours easily. There used to be a bus from here that went through Broadbottom, Charlesworth, up to Mottram, down into Stalybridge, to the hospital, into Ashton. Do it on one bus, but they took that off.
If you've got hospital appointments at Tameside, you've got no chance. And then trying to get a referral to Stepping Hill is not that easy. They refer you to Tameside. If you're really ill, they refer you to Tameside, and then there's no way of anyone visiting you.
I think there needs to be a form of transport that goes from Gamesley to the hospital, because obviously the people that we look after, they go to the hospital quite often. There needs to be something that comes regular, maybe like every 20 minutes or every half an hour, that goes to the hospital, that gets them there. Sometimes I'm late to college, and obviously you get told off for that. And then I've got to catch up on past work that I've missed because I can't get to college, or I'm late, or everything.
So there's no direct bus to college?
No.
So what do you have to do to get the bus to college?
I've got to walk down to the bottom, underneath the arches, and then wait there. But then, even them buses, they're just packed. Like, there's no room. A lot of people have been kicked out because of their attendance, especially people on Gamesley as well, because they can't make it. Because obviously it gets packed in the middle of Glossop, and then Gamesley's like the last stop really.
My daughter has disabilities and wouldn't be able to get to college from here using public transport. At the moment she doesn't go anywhere, partly because she can't get there.
And then I've got 2 boys at Glossop Dale School, and there's no buses to there either. So you've got, the children are soaking wet every day. when it's snowing, it's dangerous walking down that hill. So it's just rubbish.
I mean, I've lived in here 50 odd years, and there were school buses when I was a kid, and we used to hop on them and stuff like that. And no, there's not now.
I used to know a guy who worked at Morrison's in Hyde. He's retired now, but he'd have to get taxis and rely on other people to get him home.
To be able to get to work, I used to have to walk miles and miles when I was still working to get to work. Just a nightmare.
There was a time when we needed to get the bus, so when we've not had use of the car, and I wasn't able to get to work, so I had to spend I think it was £30 a day getting a taxi up to Stepping Hill Hospital. And then when I did try to get the bus, they didn't turn up, but there's no notification of them being delayed or being cancelled. So I think it just puts residents in a really bad position for travelling.
I use the buses for work. I work all around Glossop, up and down Watcham and Glossop and everywhere. I just wish it was more affordable for people that work. It's £2-3 every time I get on, just back and forward to Glossop. It could range up to £6 a day. So I'm only on £11.46 an hour.
My big concern really is how like the buses are not even coming round the estate sometimes, and that sets the day off for the community, because people are struggling, want to go out to get a bit of shopping or just to go for a coffee in Glossop, or meet up with a friend, and it's spoilt their day.
I don't drive. I'm lucky that I work on the estate, but if I wanted to go out with the grandkids or anything, I'd be walking down somewhere. If I wanted to get a train, I'd have to walk up to Dinton, which I wouldn't be able to do, so we'd get a taxi. So it's costing more money, isn't it?
We're just isolated. We can't meet up with family, we can't meet up with friends, we can't do any shopping. I mean, on a Sunday, it'd be nice if it was only every couple of hours to say, oh, it's a decent day, let's go into Glossop, we'll have a bit of something to eat, have a drink, and then come back. So you've either got to get a taxi or you're stuck. And taxis are on the meter at weekends, so they're very expensive. It's £10 each way before you've even bought a meal.
I end up missing out a lot on meeting up with my friends who live in Glossop, because I'm trying to get into Glossop with 2 children. And when one of the buses is very, very small, I don't want to inconvenience other people that maybe can't get out as easily.
And what about going out for social events like leisure?
Well, I don't know, because the one that goes into Ashton, like you say, it'd be down the bottom, it's very dark. If they wanted to go after, now it's getting dark at 4 or 5 o'clock, isn't it? So if they wanted to go somewhere like tea time, it's pitch black. They're walking down the dirt road down there, and it's not very well lit or anything. So I suppose you can put yourself at risk as well, having to walk down them dirt tracks on your own.
Where I live, we've got quite a lot of elderly neighbours and people with mobility problems, and a lot of them end up not really going out, not socialising, because they can't get to where they need to be.
The buses that they use, they're no bigger than converted transit vans. The price per area is too small. I use a rollator most of the time, and if anybody's on with a pram, either they're blocking the aisle or I'm blocking the aisle. There's no room for shopping trolleys, there's no room for proper room for a wheelchair.
Since it's changed, the buses have got smaller, so you've got parents trying to get on with prams. You've also got people in wheelchairs. There is no room whatsoever, and it's a struggle. There's been a couple of falls on the buses, I know, because you have to go on these yellow buses, what they've got, the B buses. You've got to go up the steps. They've got 3 or 4 seats what come down, and then you've got 2 big high steps to get on to where the double seats are, and then you've got the back one, but they're standing up. And obviously when the bus jerks, boom.
If there was a new bus to want it to go
To Ashton.
Okay, so direct from Gamesley to it. And what difference would that make to you?
A massive difference. So obviously it's getting into winter now, and I finished college really late, so then it means I've got to walk back by myself in the dark, and it's really scary. But if it obviously came 3 games in, I wouldn't have to worry about that.
I'd like to see where we actually get a decent bus that runs as we need it to run. If they're not going to put bigger buses on, they need to put them on more frequently. Buses that use on 387 would be fantastic, but they say they can't get those over the bridge. But I've been told by another bus driver that they actually can because he's done it. I mean, the other alternative is maybe Thursday, Friday, Saturday, putting the 341 in every half an hour instead of every hour. And that way we wouldn't all be crammed on like sardines.
A bigger bus for people that are in wheelchairs, they've got prams. I think they just need a bit of a bigger bus as well for that, because when I've been taking one of the ladies to Glossop and they've got a wheelchair, there's somebody else there with a pram. We'll have to wait for the next bus. And I think the buses, they need to be more reliable and they need to be more frequent. They need to be more frequent in the mornings. There needs to be more buses in the mornings.
Where do you think the bus should go?
To the hospital. I feel strongly about it needs to go to the hospital.
Where would you like a bus to go?
Well, I think Ashton Hospital, because there's a lot of people on here. There's hospital appointments. You know, if I got one, I would probably get a taxi, or I'd have to wait till one of my lot were off work to take me. Obviously, because I don't drive. I do work, but I don't drive. So I wouldn't be able to just hop on a bus from here and go to hospital to my appointment and come back. I just think we need more choice, maybe a little bit later for the Stepping Hill one to go with the appointments of people. And probably a school bus. Well, only has to go around at 8 o'clock every morning and they jump on it. It's what we used to have, just one bus. If they miss it, they miss it, but at least there's a choice there.
I don't think it has to be a night service, but probably like at 8 o'clock would be great, probably. Like people, anyone working, there's a lot of young people working, travel, I've seen on the bus and students and stuff. I think for the amount of people that live on here, probably about 3,000 people on this estate, I think it's fair, it should have a Sunday service really.